So they found a way to force Master P to come out and apologize. I'm not feeling it because what is he apologizing for?
Outrageous to me. What's up, y'all? For the ones in the back that came here, stop making them false narratives. I love my people. We talk about slavery. Our ancestors been through so much, and we're not gonna forget it. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to tell y'all is, even though we're gonna always be aware of it, but we have to do something to bridge the wealth gap. That's what I'm saying. We can't change the past, but we can change the future. We're gonna constantly fight and educate our people. But I want to let y'all know, Apple is making $32 million an hour. How do we get a piece of that? Because we need to be able to bridge the wealth gap. That's the only thing I'm saying. And that's the only way it's going to happen, is to educate our people, educate our culture. And that's what I'm doing.
The saddest aspect of him coming out and making this basically an apology video is one of the main reasons that I hate social media, because it's basically a different form of bullying. When you say something, stand on it, even if it offends others. That is the true representation of a leader. Everybody is not qualified to lead. Not everybody is qualified to be spokesman. A leader is someone who goes against the majority. He doesn't make the popular decision. He makes the right decision, even at the expense of offending the majority. So if he's talking about stop letting the past affect your present, he's actually right. Because you got everybody running around acting like they are victims. Go back to the early 1900s, at the height of real oppression, when you had segregated water fountains, segregated schools. You had to sit at the back of the bus. If you were walking down the street and you were a black man, you couldn't even look at a woman and the white woman in the eye without fear of some form of action taken against you. See, that is real oppression. But now, as the world has evolved, our society has evolved, you are trying to move the goalposts. You are trying to act like that you are being exposed to the same thing that your great grandmother, your great grandfather was exposed to, and it's actually a lie. If they can look into the future and see everything that you have, they will probably laugh at you. So it was sort of like I was explaining to a friend before when I was on the inside. And she was a person who loved to talk about her past. Her past was shaping so much of her present that one day I called and she's hiding in the bathroom crying. She's in the bathroom hiding from a 10-year-old, her son, in a house where she pays the bills. She puts the food and clothing on their back, and she's hiding in the bathroom because she has become a victim. So if she's crying to me on the phone, I had enough. So I tell her, I ain't trying to hear that. Put your big girl pants on. Go out there and put your foot in you know his what. Oh, you're being insensitive. No, I'm not being insensitive. You need to stop being a victim and stand on something. So she broke down in tears. She said she had anxiety and all these different things. So what I did was, I say, if you feel that way, if you feel like the sky is falling, if you feel like the walls are closing in, why don't you do what you want to do? What you mean? Is you ready to end it all? She thought I was being insensitive until I actually took the time to break it down to her. I said, now, do you have a time machine? He said, no. If you don't have the time machine, if you don't have a time machine where you can go back in your past and touch that past, then why are you allowing that past to affect so much of your present? So that means that person that did something that you at 5 years old, 10 years old, and now you're 50, there's a 45 to 40-year gap between then and now. So that means that today you're giving that same person the same power of you all of those years later. But the key thing that you miss is because people are allowing you to live on this crutch. Your crutch, that's your go-to move when things is going your way. You have forgotten your power. You have forgotten your strength. And that was no matter what happened to you back then, your resilience allowed you to wake up every day and continue to live, to continue to fight, to where, look at your door. You own your cars, you own your houses, you own your land. That is a representation of strength. Why won't you live in that? Instead of always trying to go back and lean on the past. That's what's hindering your progress. That's what's hindering your happiness. That's all that Master P is saying. Master P is simply saying, stop being the victim. Stop worrying about everybody else. Stop worrying about the community. Stop worrying about the collective. Man, start with yourself. Mind your business and start focusing on you and getting yourself right, and let everything else bleed over from that. But once again, if somebody is not catering to your narrative, you hate it. Y'all the same people. Just watch this boy Yachty act like he's online advocating for women, but all the time he behind closed doors beating his wife. See, these are the people that's getting online and lying to y'all because they catering to a narrative. It's all about popularity and monetization. That's all you are to her. Because if you get on her and you sell positivity and you sell productivity, that's not what the audience gravitate to. They love chaos, toxic, and destruction. That's what they love, and that's what they're feeding you. But the same people that you feeding it to, that feeding this to you, they lying. They all living a life behind closed doors outside of social media that doesn't align with the shit they selling. So with that being said, salute.